First film you've made that is really about family?
Is it? I don't know. I've really kind of avoided family in all my other films. I can't really remember. In Stranger Than Paradise, his cousin Esther comes to visit. There might be mentions of family in other films, but yeah, this is the first one that sort of addresses it, although that wasn't really my intention. To make a film about a family, I kind of am mortified when I say, Jarmusch made a family film. You know, it's not exactly how I see it.
But all three parts are about parents and children.
They are?
Well, you tell me.
Yes, they are. Yes, in a way, yeah.
You know, the form of the film in three parts. When we, I've talked to you about this so much, I keep saying, I'm going to keep saying, when we talked last, you brought up literary forms, and you said that rather than thinking about one plot, you were thinking about a literary form that's multi-part.
Well, I think in the past I made some other films that were episodic in form, that were more related to literary forms. This one, though, I think of more as a musical form, because they can't, it's like three movements for me of one piece of music. If you were to separate them or move the order around, I would be mortified, because we worked so carefully to construct this kind of accumulation of details, and themes that repeat are much like movements in music. So I think of it closer to a musical form, but the idea of like separate stories creating a whole is certainly a literary form, from the Canterbury Tales, the Decameron, etc. But it's also a form of cinema that's been used extensively. The Japanese ghost story format, the Italian romantic comedies. So, it's a form it's not new. It's not something really that adventurous. But in this case, it was really carefully constructed. So I'm proud of the kind of intended slenderness, if I can say, of the film. I've used this metaphor, but for me, creating it was a lot like making three flower arrangements that are very delicate. If you move one thing, it changes the color palette. I don't know. So it was quite delicate. It's like, it takes a lot of effort to make something look effortless. So I'm very proud of the kind of, I'll say, slenderness of the film.
It was a surprise when it won at Venice, because, especially when one thinks of the Italian context, this is a film without drama, without violence, without all those things that usually keep films moving along.
Yeah, no conflict resolution, no sex or nudity, there's no plot, really, it's kind of avoiding all of those things. Well, the thing in Venice was a real surprise to me. I was in Paris and was asked to come back to Venice for the awards ceremony, so I thought, maybe we get an award for writing script, because it is, delicately constructed, and maybe they appreciated that. But I was not prepared at all, so I had one quote prepared about script writing from Sam Fuller that said, I write with my camera, it's my typewriter, or something like that. But I had no idea what to say. I was really surprised and appreciated it, but I don't really believe in competition of those sorts, but it's about appreciating work and supporting it. But I have to tell you a funny story. As moving to me as receiving the Golden Lion in Venice was my experience leaving Venice the next morning in the airport I had the Golden Lion. It's in a very elaborate red case, and it's very heavy, and I had to carry it through the airport, hand carry it on the plane. So the Italian woman looking at the X-ray, she said to me, this is yours. Yes. What is it? It's the Golden Lion. It's an award we received in the Venice. Yes, I know what it is. But you win this award. And I said, yes. And she said, congratulations to you, everyone. Now come here. All the workers of the airport. They came over, they came around and patting me on the back. Auguri, congratulations, Golden Lion. So it was very Italian, and it was really very moving because they were really sincerely excited. So that was a really nice moment for me. And they had their uniforms on, they're working at the airport, security, but very Italian.
So since you brought up scripts and how you write them, could you talk a little bit about how you write your script and what your relationship is to casting the actors?
Well, normally I gather details for quite a long time, and then I write very fast, like in a matter of weeks or a month. And this one I also wrote very fast, but I did not have a lot of details collected, so they just kind of poured out of me. But I wrote for the actors, as I almost always do. So I had them all in mind, with the exception of Mother. I wasn't quite sure who to visualize, and then eventually the amazing Charlotte Rampling. But all of the others were visualized while I was writing. So yeah, I don't know. It's a mysterious. It's a weird process for me because I'm alone. I have to be left alone. I need to I have a kind of ritual of time when I write, and I write fast. And in this case, since it's mostly dialogue, I try to get into a zone where I'm just listening to them talk, and I'm kind of writing it down rather than I'm inventing it in a way. And knowing the actors that I want to embody these characters is really helpful for that. So it came really fast, and there was not much improvisation at all during the shooting, except for Tom Waits, because that's his strength. And after the first day of shooting, he took me aside because Mayim Bialik and Adam Driver are very precise actors. And after the first day, Tom said, Jim, I gotta ask you, you hired these two professional killers here. What do I do about that? But Tom needs his own longer leash. For example, the litany of drugs. I gave him a litany of drugs, but I said, add some in, whatever you want. So I did not have like toad skins or horse tranquilizers. But Tom's I love his performance because he's very funny without being comedic, and he's very moving without being sentimental about it. So he did, all of the actors did beautiful things for me.
All the actors were wonderful. It is a film that is not, I don't know how to say this. It is a film about how people in families practice deception, but it is not cruel in relation to that. So could you talk a little bit about what they don't know about each other?
Yeah, I didn't want to be judgmental in any way. I just wanted to be observational. And yes, families are very deceptive, and parents are deceptive for a variety of reasons. Sometimes to protect their children, sometimes to hide their own histories. There's a lot of that, and I'm not really analytical about it, nor was I trying to be. I was just sort of presenting it, And the one thing that kind of struck me after I kind of wrote the film and was preparing the production design was that they're like little stages being set by the parents, little theatrical things. The father is deceptively messing up his place to make it look more disheveled. The mother, it's really a stage set. It's the table with all the little cakes and the porcelain and everything, the flowers. It's very presentational. And then in the third section, or movement, as I like to think of it, the stage is empty because the parents are gone and they're in this place that they inhabited